Homeschooling twins is wonderful. I love it. I don't think that it's like an extra burden or challenge. You have already made it through the first year of their life. You can do anything. Like, am I right? I love finding subjects that they can do together. That's ideal, right? We would love if our kids could just do everything together. With Draw Right Now, this is a curriculum where it teaches you how to draw a specific picture or image, and then you do the copy work of the sentences down below. You can't cheat with handwriting, right? So they can do this side by side. I think for the most part, they really enjoy this. Sometimes they kind of like nag each other with drawing something they know will bug the other one. But for the most part, they have fun drawing together and then writing the sentences out. And it works really well for them to sit at the table and do this together. Now, reading is a subject that I love doing with my twins. I have one sit on one side and one sit on the other. The one on my left reads the left page, the one on my right reads the right page, or if there are characters in the book, they can take on reading those characters. We love Piggy and Gerald books, so one will read Piggy and one will read Gerald. We don't usually have fights over who's reading which one, so I haven't had that issue. I could see it as a potential issue, but maybe just switch up back and forth day to day who gets to read which one. This makes reading so much fun though. I really love this. There are times, and here's a difference with my twins. One of my kids has a slight lisp. He has a very hard time pronouncing his L's. And so if I know that we're going to be working on like the combination ILL or ULL or something that has L's in it, I might have them read separately. I really like breaking up our days by having the kids run off and play and then come back and do math and then run off and play and then come back and do the next subject. And so one way that I sometimes switch it up is I have them go play and then I call one down individually. So Bjorn might come down and work with me on his reading, and then he'll go back, and then Soren will come down and work with me on his reading, and then he'll go back, and then, you know, and that works really well too. It kind of breaks up their day and their time and switches up the routine, and then they don't really realize that I'm calling them down specifically because I need one child to work on something that the other one is fine at. For spelling, you can see here I am down at their level. And you could do this with any subject. It doesn't have to be spelling, but we have these workbooks that they're working through right now. And so we put those on the floor, and I have one child on one side and one child on the other side, and I'm there able to help them both. I also have my little one who's working on counting bears, but I am down at their level with them. And that just makes it fun and engaging, and they are split up with me in between, but I don't think that they would necessarily realize like mom's intentionally splitting us up. It's just mom is here with us. So you've seen how we've gone from sitting on both sides of the table to either side of the table to the couch to the floor. This just keeps things more entertaining at these young ages. So if you can do things like that, it really will help to keep them involved and engaged and not bored. For math, I have them sit across the table from each other. And actually everyone gets a different spot at the table to be doing their math subject. I have just found that this works better. There isn't any of that looking at each other's sheet. And that tends to work pretty well. Yes, of course, someone tends to get done before the other one, but with math, they're pretty equal in this subject, so it's not always the first one getting done before the other one. If this did become an issue, there is a possibility that I would break them up and have one do math while the other one does a different subject so that there isn't that time comparison there. I think that's a really good possibility for our future and what that would look like. We also just do a lot of math games together, so they can play a math game together, or they could just be involved together in practicing math, and then it's a little less obvious if one is necessarily better than the other one, and they're having fun doing that. So I really do enjoy incorporating math in those ways, partially for that reason, partially because math is fun. Check out that video. Finally, we have history, science, arts, anything like that. We usually do these things as a family. So this isn't different because they're twins. We do these as like reading books together or a unit study or going out into nature and doing read alouds together. There's nothing different about this than homeschooling any other kids. All right, so we know that our twins are different from each other in personality. They probably don't have the same learning style. It would be amazing if they did. They probably don't. I have one that does so much better with hands-on, with the games, with one-on-one. And so I really need to find the time to do that with him because that is important. It's special to him and he learns best that way. One of my other twins, just give him all the worksheets and he'll sit down and do them and love them. He is all about that. So that does create a dynamic sometimes that just keeps me on my feet. I'm a twin mom. It happens. So keeping those things in mind and being flexible. I just don't think that there's a way around this. However, it is the beauty of their differences, right? So we just engage in that, we just go with it, and right when you think you have them figured out, they'll switch it on you, right? Like you'll have everything figured out and then all of a sudden it's different. And so that's just part of being a mom, and with kids, don't get overly frustrated with it. Roll with the punches, mom. You're good at that. You can manage it. One really nice thing that sometimes works is that there are sometimes curriculums that you can purchase as one. Master books or Gather Round, those that you get as a digital download and you can print off at home. Yes, like we finally get to cash in on that 2-for-1 special, right? Like hopefully that should work well, but their learning styles are different, so it might not always, but look for those. The other thing I really like about Master Books Math is that it's about twins, and my twins enjoy being twins. They really like it. They're thriving off of it right now. So they really like hearing stories about twins too. The Tuttle twins was a big hit in our house because it was about twins. Finding books for them to read together about twins, they really like those things. Let me know down in the comments what curriculums, stories, games, movies, anything like that have you found that are about twins that your kids like and utilize. I think the most important thing that I can convey to you is that you shouldn't compare your twins to one another. And this is in like so many areas of life, and it's really hard to not do, but it is so important. I really do have one kid that I think could just excel at school so fast, and the other one is like, he doesn't even want to start school yet. He would be fine playing for another year or two. And that's okay, finding that middle ground, because I think that other one is going to at some point want to learn more also, and he will get there when he is ready. And so don't fret, don't worry about it. They'll be there, they'll get there. You just have to relax and guide their way. You are just supposed to encourage that learning is a good thing, that it's a fun thing. Teach them how to learn so that when they are ready, they can just roll with it. That is your goal right now. Let me know in the comments if there's something else you would recommend. Just help this community of twin moms out, right? Twin moms, we gotta stick together because it is tough. Thank you for joining me, you guys, and I'll see you over on Instagram or next time.